History is God's story, friends, in that what happened to India soon after the flood of Noah was a sad one. In those days, India used to be a white man's land, and they worshipped Noah's god Yahweh in the form of Narayana. At that point, the biblical Cush from Africa invaded India, and he hated Yahweh, and so did his men. We can't really blame Cush because Cush's father Ham, known as Kamdev, fell out with his father Noah and his god Yahweh. One can read it in the Bible. The Cushites eradicated Yahweh worship and introduced their way of worship where people literally worship their kings as gods. Meanwhile, the priestly class of Indians, in order to save their skins, cooperated thoroughly with their invaders and altered the original holy scriptures, the Vedas, to match the new reality. They deleted some original characters and inserted their rulers such as Indra as Vedic gods. They also portrayed Noah as an immature, arrogant person. Then there was a magician named Vishwamitra among Cush's men. And there was also a powerful prophet of Yahweh God in India whose name was Vasishtha. So, in their altered literature, they started calling this magician as well as the prophet of God as spiritual counselors, thus blurring the line between a magician who did witchcraft and the prophet of God who was full of God's Holy Spirit. Now, let's take a look at their story. A long time ago, there was a king named Trishanku. He was Satyavarada, meaning Noah, who is Manu, and his son was the righteous king Harishchandra, meaning his son was Shem, the king Bharat. Now, they say that Trishanku, which is Noah, being so arrogant, he wanted to go to heaven in his physical body. So he approached Prophet Vasishtha and insisted that he conducts a great yagna, meaning an elaborate sacrifice ritual in order for him to be able to go to heaven. Now, wait a minute there. Do you think one can do an elaborate sacrifice to send someone to heaven? However, this is the way by which paganism plants ideas into unsuspecting minds. Another thing is sitting and meditating in a forest to gain spiritual powers. Then you spend it like using a gift card to kill an evil giant or something, and your power gets depleted. It's time to go sit and meditate once again. Probably Indra or someone will appear someday and fill you with some temporary powers once again. Well, if it is all true, why doesn't such things happen these days? Nobody questions all these narratives in spite of all their education these days. Well, coming back to our story, Vasishtha refused to send Trishanku to heaven. So Trishanku approached the magician Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra, being so great, agreed, and by performing the yagna, he sent Trishanku in his mortal body to heaven. In heaven, Indra was there. This Indra was the last son of Ham, called Misraim in the Bible, born through marrying his stepsister Rhea, known as Rati Devi in India. He is also the Zeus of the Greek mythology. He pushed back Trishanku, who was Noah, from entering heaven. So Vishwamitra created a special heaven for Trishanku and placed him there. But the only glitch is that Trishanku will be, and still is, hanging in limbo upside down in space forever. Oh, how they obscure the truth. They did all this to their own Manu, which is Noah, who was also the father of Harishchandra, the most righteous king and the founder of India, all for the fear of their invaders, the ancient Kushites. Thanks for watching.